All right, I did kind of want to say something about dreams and people making fun of them. People will laugh. People will. People will. Hold on. People will judge. People will. People will laugh. People will point. People will put expectations on you that they never put on themselves. People will have their own idea and opinions about what your dreams should look like, what your dreams should be, right? Yeah, all that may be true. And still, it's still worth you chasing your dream. Again, when people were calling me like a vagabond or whatever the heck, when I was living in the RV, or when people were making fun, or people were asking, oh, well, what's the plans for the future? I had none. I was living in the moment. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that moment is what I want, right? Like that moment is filled with all the things that I ever want and need. When I RV'd, I had a great time because I was living in my home, right? I was driving my home. I had everything I needed in my home. I love cozy, quiet, small spaces. I loved traveling in our car because it was even smaller. It was even cozier, you know? And I'm learning that like your dream doesn't have to pass other people's test of viability. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that that's like a basic lesson, but your dreams don't have to tickle the fancies of other people. It's not their dream, right? Like when we had our going away party, it was so funny. A couple of our friends like walked into our RV and they were like, you finna share a small space like this together? Yes. Like I like small spaces. I like, you know, like that feeling you get when you were a kid. Oh, it's a motorcycle. That feeling you got when you were a kid and you put like a blanket over the table and you made a fort. I love that feeling. And RVing, car camping, it gives me that feeling. Also, I love slow. I love living slowly. Nature is the slowest living, right? Like, nature lives slowly as well. And so why wouldn't I want to be around her, right? Like, no, these are all lining up with the person that I am, the things that I want, the things that I desire and I dream of. And none of that has to be ran through a test for other people to see that it's legit. You know, my dreams are for me. My dreams are for me. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to like it. And everybody's not going to approve of it. And does that mean that I don't get to live my dream? No. No, I still get to live it. But I will say, it is hard. It is hard when you want the approval of other people and they're not giving it to you. It's difficult. It sucks. You know what I mean? And even still, when I think back of like when I was the happiest was when I was dry camping or boondocking in Durango, Colorado, with no plug ups, no nothing. We were just in the middle of the forest, just surrounded by nature with the windows open in our RV. And I was writing and reading and creating and I was just so happy. I was just so happy. And I guess that because it failed the first time, like I said, I feel like I gave up on that dream and tried to find another one, but I don't want another one. I don't. I think sometimes dreams do change. And I do think that sometimes they shift and I feel like even now my dream has shifted a little bit, but the desire, the feeling that I want, right? What we really dream of. I think about whatever. I'm being led by my emotions, right? And I know that a lot of people say like, oh, don't lead by your emotions. Don't blah, blah, blah. Every decision you make is emotional. Every single decision you make is emotional. What you choose to eat is emotional. It is. You might think it's logical. It's really emotional. Because let's talk about like eating healthy. Why are you eating healthy? Because you want to be perceived a certain way. Why do you want to be perceived a certain way? This is like whatever. Even the most like, vain reasons, right? You're living like you're eating that because you want to have this body. You want to have this body because of how society treats people in this body, with this body, right? You want to be accepted. You want to feel like you belong. It's all emotional. Everything is emotional. And I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we try to say like, oh, don't be led by your emotions. Yes, be led by your emotions. You know what I mean? And I know that like people are not nuanced online, but obviously we're not talking about harming people, right? We're talking about going to the woods. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about enjoying ourselves. Like we're talking about being at peace. We're talking about being in environments that make us feel happy, that add life to our health, right? They give us strength. Like this is the best case scenario. And so while my dreams might not make a lot of sense to other people, I follow that feeling I'm after. That feeling of awe and wonder, the feeling of beauty, like of witnessing and admiring beauty. Like isn't that what we all want? Like, even all this earning, all this like doing and becoming, aren't we all doing that in hopes of one day being able to rest, being able to do what we really love, right? Like, that's, you're at your job that you hate because, for example, speaking from personal experience, because if you leave this job, everybody's going to call you a failure. Everybody's going to say that you can never stick with nothing. And the thing is, like, why am I being celebrated for my ability to stick with things that hurt me and harm me and things that I hate? Why can't I be celebrated for sticking with it, right? Like, let's say that I was in school and I dropped out, right? People would cheer me going back to school and finishing my degree, right? Why can't we feel that same way about our dreams? I didn't drop out of my dreams. Life happened. You know what I mean? I didn't give up on my dreams. Life happened. I never stopped wanting and dreaming for this, you know? And I thought that I had to do all these things around it to be able to earn it. But really, I can just walk to it. I could just walk towards it, and I don't need permission. I never needed permission. And my dreams were going to keep knocking anyway. You know? So yeah, like, why can't we celebrate people putting down their dreams for a second, tending to their wounds? Because yes, chasing dreams sometimes does wound you. Yes, it does. It hurts. Sometimes it's devastating. Okay. Sometimes you learn about people's hearts that you didn't know before. Sometimes you learn that people actually hate you. What? Like, I have things to heal from, and I can still be tender and gentle with myself and be like, but this dream never stopped being for me. Just because my circumstances may have changed, doesn't mean that, like, what? Like, there's no best by date on your dream. There is none. All this is made up. Like, even the ideas that we have around, like, oh, I'm too old to dream, it's too late, blah, blah, blah. Who said? And who said you don't get to pick up your dream again and go full force when you feel inclined, when you feel inspired? Who said that? You know? I literally decided yesterday I'm going to get in my car and drive to Shenandoah. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm living my dream. I am living my dream right now. I might not have all the bells and whistles that everybody says that I should have, but I'm living my dream right now in the way that I can live it. And I think that we need to start having, like, grace with ourselves, that, like, even if you cannot live out your full dream, like, it has to be, you know, big and strong and, like, expensive and, you know, groundbreaking. It's like, in real life, it's the small things. It's the inch by inches. It's the small decisions we make that tweak and tune our lives and set us back on the course of, like, joy, you know? It don't be the big things a lot of times, even for my own creative journey. It wasn't the big breaks. It was small breaks. It was a lot of small breaks. You know what I mean? And each one got me here gently. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, you know, yanking over here. It was a gentle, hey, here's the path. Here's the path laid. And I trust that if I pursue my joy, the path will be laid out in front of me. I think a lot of people don't move. Well, that raven is getting it. Or crow. I think it might have been a crow. But, like, I think we don't move because we're waiting for this big whatever. But it's like, no, like, all the clues and all the pieces to your puzzle are laid out in those small little moments of joy. You know, like, that's how my creative journey has been. That when I sing a song and it makes me happy, I put it up because I want to share it. And then somebody finds that song and then offers me an opportunity to make some money, right? Like, and I think, like, we're always thinking about money. We're always thinking about money. But I'm after money so that I can be wealthy enough to experience this all the time. But even if I don't have all the money in the world, I can still experience this as much as I want, as long as I have gas or a car or means or a way to get here. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't get here, I can go to a local park. I can sit on a swing. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the little things. And I think that when we ignore those calls because we find them inconvenient or small, right, we miss out on opportunities to actually be wowed. And the wows are in the small things, you know? So anyway, rambling, but I hope that made sense. Pick your dream back up. I celebrate you picking your dream back up. Just like, oh, you're finishing school. Yeah, pick your dream back up. Like, why do we only get to pick up the dreams of other people that other people have for us? Why can't we pick up our own dreams? You know? And realize, like, I'm living my dream right now. Right now. I don't have the RV, and that's devastating. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the things that I wanted to have. But I have life, and I have this vehicle. I do have something. I do have an opportunity, and I have nature. You know, and nature is always free. You know, I mean, asterisk. because you did have to pay a price to get in here. But it's like, I'm living my dream right now. And this is all I want. And that gets to be all I want. And shout out to my therapist. We were talking about cozy living and how I think I felt all this pressure on me to like do this big thing. I need to do this big one thing or be known for these big things. And she told me, like, you get to be in pursuit of a cozy life. And that's the life I really want. That's the life, excuse me. That's the life I really want. I want a cozy life. Sorry, y'all, my voice is, whatever. It's doing vocal things. But I really want a life that feels good and cozy and safe for me. And I wonder how many of us are living our lives performing for other people. Like how many of us are doing things, staying at a job we hate, being in relationships we don't like, living in places we don't like, because we're too busy. We're too afraid of what other people will say or think about us, because society does a great job in us centering and teaching us to center the thoughts and opinions of other people, especially other people that go along with the program. Because you do get rewards for going along with the program, right? And they make those rewards enticing. Don't you want to belong? Don't you want to be loved? Don't you want to finally be accepted? But the truth of the matter is that it's never enough, right? It's never satisfied. There's always something more to earn, something more to gain, something more to become, a new fad or a new trend, right? To follow. That's the lie. But on top of that, it's like, I'd much rather, yes, I want to be loved. Yes. The answer is yes. And also, I want to be happy. I want to be regulated. I want to be grounded. I want to be, there's a kid behind me wearing shades and they look so cute. She's so cute. But yeah, I want to be happy. I want to be fulfilled. I want to be cozy, and I want to be healthy and safe. And I've been learning a lot about the way that my brain works and the way that my nervous system is set up. And it's just not set up in the way that I thought it was. And I realized I've been overdoing it. And it's the freedom and the fear that came along when she said, you get to be in pursuit of a cozy life. The fear that came along was, well, then who will I be then? Because for so long I was celebrated for doing the hard thing, for being, you know what I'm saying? For going above and beyond, for being extraordinary, right? And I didn't realize that sometimes that was actually harming me. And so she says to me, I get to be in pursuit of a cozy life. I get to center myself in my own life. I get to make my dreams up of my joy, not of what I think will get me money or fame or access or support or whatever. I don't know. A raise, insert thing here for you, right? But no, what if I actually set up my life so that I can do this all the time? Right? And that is success to me. Nobody asks us, what is success to you? Success to me is me being happy, healthy, whole, warm, cozy, grounded. I love cuddling. I love a cozy. You know what I mean? And I've been doing all these things in the way that the world wanted me to do them, in the way that the society wanted me to perform them, right? But I want to play. I want to be safe. And I don't feel safe. The truth of the matter is I don't feel safe when I'm performing for people, when I'm tap dancing for them and hoping they'll like me. I don't feel safe. I feel like I'm on trial. I feel like I'm always under surveillance. I feel like somebody has the power to withdraw my divinity from me. Somebody has the power to destroy me. Somebody has the power to determine that I'm not worth it. And honestly, if I keep seeking permission from other people, they're never going to give me permission because, and I'm talking about the powers that be, why would they give me permission when they need me to be a cog in their wheel? Why would they say, yeah, Alecia, you get to chase your dream even if you don't make $1 million, and we're going to tell you that you need to make $1 million. Why? Because if I tell you need to make $1 million for your dream, then you'll always be on my, hamster wheel. And I'm saying hamster wheel on purpose because you're just running in circles. They're never going to give you, they're dangling that thing in front of your face. They're never going to give you what you want. And so since they're never going to give me what I want anyway, right? Why not I chase my dream? Also, I'm a Black woman. I have the privilege of being a Black woman in this lifetime. I have a privilege of not having to conform, of being born disqualified from their system. And I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Because I was born disqualified from their system, I no longer have to chase it. I no longer have to fit in it. Yay. So if I no longer have to fit in it, if you're going to chastise me for being Black, for being woman, right, for being insert thing here, then Why don't I just get to be who I want to be anyway? If you were going to hate me either way, why not you just hate me while I'm in the mountains? You know what I'm saying? Instead of like at a cubicle at a job that I hate, that my boss hates me at. You feel me? Like, if I got to choose my hard, why not choose a hard that makes me happy and that's harder for everybody else, you know? And then we're always taught that, like, because these thoughts are coming in, we're taught that we're not trustworthy. Don't trust your heart. Don't follow your feelings. Blah, blah, blah. Who else I'm going to trust, honey? Who else am I supposed to trust? You know what I mean? Like, if I can't trust myself, who am I supposed to trust? And who does it benefit for me not to trust myself? Not me. Who does it whenever I trust myself, I find gems, I meet beautiful people, I find paths I never knew existed. I get to see the mountaintops. I get to look into valleys. This is like, let me show you what happens when I trust myself. Hold on. This is what happens when I trust myself. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens, right? Not whatever the heck they thought was going to happen if I trust myself. The truth of the matter is, they're afraid that I'm going to trust myself too much and exit the system and be like, oh, actually, I trust myself too much to stay here. They're afraid that I'm going to wake up to myself and realize, oh, girl, actually, because when I sit and when I think about it, when I sit and think things over, whenever I trusted myself, like, this is how I got here. I got here by trusting myself. I got here by singing songs on the internet. I got here by sharing my heart and my thoughts. I got here by taking pictures and daring to set up a photography business. I got here, right, by buying an RV, by saving up money, by installing solar. I'm a smart girl, okay? I just look at myself, what was there in shame that I looked at before. I am in awe of myself. I am in awe of myself. Even though the dream paused, or took a turn, or led me somewhere else, right? Even where it led me, even the breaks have been beautiful. Even the rest stop, even though it's been painful, right, to mourn the dream, this rest stop has still been beautiful. I've still been able to do beautiful things, meet beautiful people, go beautiful places. You know what I mean? Have beautiful experiences. And it's not a loss. It's not a failure. And I think that because I was looking at it as a loss and a failure, I couldn't return back to my dream. But, like, my dream was never ashamed of me. Aw. My dream loves me. She was never ashamed of me. You know, my dream trusts me. My dream loves me. My dream wants me to have fun, you know, wants me to have fun with her. My dream wants me to not take her so seriously. You know, like, my dream wants me to play, to be a full human being, to give myself the privilege that my ancestors may not have had, to be playful, you know? Yeah, so I don't know. It wasn't a loss. I'm not ashamed of myself, and my dream's not ashamed of me. And if anything, I have more knowledge now. I should have more bravery. I should have more bravery because of all the things I overcame and all the things I did when I was afraid and didn't know any better. Now that I know better, and now that I know all the things, right, it makes me look at myself like, oh, I should have. No, like, I figured that stuff out on the fly. I researched how solar panels worked, bought batteries, figured out wiring, right, with the help of Jemile. But, like, I did that. Like, that I can do anything. My dreams have shown me I can do anything that I put my mind to. I can figure it out, and I will figure it out. You know? Anywho, let's continue to drive.